Right, good morning. We've got the rear bulkhead in, so I'm going to put the rear floor parts in now and the seat box. Obviously seal it all with our butyl tape and take it from there. We've got some stainless fixings from Yarm. I don't know if we've got enough because I think I might have nicked a few out of the packet. So we'll see how we get on, and then once we've done that, we can look at getting these top bits on. That'll probably be tomorrow, and obviously doing some more sound deadening for the the sound deadening and maybe carpet and everything else. I've got some carpet on order, so we'll see that as well when we get it. So I'm still using this butyl rubber tape because I just think that's better than the felt. And we can stick that all the way across. That sticks well, and I think that's a superior seal compared to the felt. It's also a bit easier to use personally. Make sure that sticks properly. Nice and sticky anyway. Not overly sticky though. That's what I quite like about it. So this bit goes there. We'll get some small bolts made up, ready for that. So this kit I got off Yarm, you'll see in the previous videos, does have these 20mm stainless bolts, and I should imagine after going through there, but I'm going to just put some normal washers on them. There is loads of penny washers here and serrated ring nuts. I don't actually need a washer, but then I think sometimes that scrape the metal, so I'm going to use a washer anyway. And what we've also got is these little clips for the screws. What we'll have to put in here, you see. So they'll go in there, and they're stainless ones, and then there's stainless screws to go through the top. So I'm not going to record all this, I'll carry on with this while we'll switch the camera off. Oh yeah, one other thing, we don't need to put all of these in, because I think the seat box will also go through them holes as well. So we just put this in, put the floor in, and then we'll leave them off, because I think the seat box will go on top of there. We'll have a look actually. So this is the seat box. We've got to put the floor down obviously, and that'll bolt to there as well. See that? So we'll just put them end bolts in, and then we'll leave them middle bolts out. the bottom of, I've scraped the bottom of there, so I'm just going to get some paint and paint that before we go any further. I'm just going to put some bitumen along this front edge. Wipe the dust off. I'm going to put some across there as well, but I'll probably stretch it so it's a bit thinner. I'll finish putting these in, and then we'll put a length across there as well. Maybe should have ordered some more of this. Gonna be a bit tight on what we got. Just run it down these sides as well. You can stretch it out just a little bit. I'll give us a little bit more. So I'm going to lay a couple of bits of wood down here to lay the floor on before that stick to the bitumen, just to make sure we get it the right way around. Measurement to be 390 from there, so it's got to be 390 from there so the seat box fit. So that's one to remember. So luckily we got it round the right way round. Just remove one piece of wood, try and line it up where it's supposed to be. We seem to be miles and miles out. This is the trouble with the bitumen tape. If you don't quite get it in the right place, it can stick fast. No, that's alright. Lay that right down there. And that does stretch as well, so that can end up causing a bit of a problem. Right, that's in the correct place there, but this has got to move that way. We'll see if we can get a couple of screws in anyway. So you can see here, obviously we're a long way out, which make you wonder about the 800mm clearance. It's obviously going to be shorter now, but if we were to move this in, we're going to have to cut a little bit out at the bottom here, because that's already touching, and cut a bit more out of this bit here, what we cut the other day, so that can, there's the sill, and that's the back plate, so that needs to come forward 20mm. But thing said the other day that this has got to be an 800mm gap or 775, so Just do your head in, don't it? So we're at 800 at the moment. If we were to change that and go to the floor, we'll be 765. So how is that supposed to work? I mean, we could just put this bit in like that, but then that's not right either, is it? I'll get a screw in anyway to just hold it in place. So that's roughly where it's got to be, but we'll do that both ends so we know where we've got to be, and then we'll try and move the back of this to suit. It's going to be difficult. So we're pretty simple on the front holes here. Could take that back a little bit. And if we push that forward a bit, that is where that's supposed to be. Which does not seem correct. What I'm going to do is just move use this podgy bar to podgy bar the floor that far that way as I can get it. It's like that. And we can get a little bit of movement on the back there. Like I say, we'll have to cut a bit of that out there, which isn't ideal. Maybe we should have fitted everything before we painted it, but you can't do everything, can you? I'm going to get a few more screws in the bottom of this. And then we'll see what happens after that. I'll try and get the rest of these screws in loosely. And then we'll figure out how we're going to move that forward. Because we are on the limit. What I'm going to have to do is loosen the brackets and just see if we can pull this whole thing forward a little bit. So this gap isn't need to be 800mm, 775 is probably better. Right, so I've had to trim another little gap out of there to bring this forward. We've loosened these brackets, both sides. I mean, ideally we need to cut a bit of this, but I think this will bend out enough just to give us enough enough room to get that forward, and obviously the same we've done on that side, so we'll see what we can do. Hopefully that will pull forward and sort itself out. It's gone from one extreme to the next, really. But I'll pull it forward as much as I can tighter, and we'll see what it does. I've pulled it forward a little bit. I'll just show you. Do the same on this side. If I can get you set up so you can see what's going on. Well, I'll just have to hold it and explain what I'm going to do. So I can get the podgy bar through there. And I can just pull that forward, you see. And try and get that extra 10mm we need. So that's what I'm doing there. Well, we might have to loosen some of these body brackets off. I can't seem to get that bulkhead to come forward anymore. I don't want to obviously force too much, because that will just not be right. It's got to sit roughly right. Got a few more bolts I can loosen off on that rear end, just to see what happens, and if not we'll have to loosen this and loosen the bulkhead, but there isn't much play on any of that either. And we've already got the 3 washers in the front of the bulkhead when we fitted that, so we shouldn't really need anything else in there, but we'll give it a go and see what happens. Well, I can't seem to get it any better. It's actually miles out. I don't know whether to sit the seat box on and then try from there, but it's obviously got to be a little bit better than this. So I've got it forward as much as possible. We're now at 787, which isn't too bad. It's a little bit away from there still, but it will join up with not too much problem. So I think I'm going to leave it at that. I mean, it's fairly square as well. 787, so I'm quite pleased with that. I'll just go around the other side and measure them. So here we have 700 and, let's just see, I can see this a bit better. We've got 790 there, which is a bit wrong. And at the bottom here we have 784, 83. So that's just got to push back like that a little bit. That's 787 that side, so that's actually quite even now each side. This one's a little bit shorter. I don't want to move that bottom out because I need to get that back there, you see. It's mad, isn't it? Pull the floor over that way as much as possible. We'll do it on that side as well. So I think we'll go for a tighten up and see what happens. All I'm going to do is just pull these bolts in gently and then just make sure this is pushed up as much as possible, and then we'll have to leave it like that. It ain't too bad. One final check. 785. 790. Well, the top's just got to come over like that, but we can deal with that. I think you should fit the floor panel and carry on. I've tightened down ones up, you see, more or less, because they're more or less where they need to be. But we'll get them bolts in that side. Well, they should be bigger bolts, so we'll put some big bolts in there. Some nice big penny washers, that'll help spread the weight. Get some big ones for the other side as well. I've got these nice penny washers for the behind as well. We'll just pull them up really gently. This bolt is a bit long really. I might see if I can find some shorter bolts. Right, so I can actually get M10 bolts through there, so I'm going to put M10 in. Doesn't really need to be, but a little bit ridiculous, but you won't see that. That'll just help pull it up nice and square. All bolted down, it's not too bad. We have a measurement of 790 this side, nice and square, 790. And we have 783 this side. So, well, I wrote 780, so we've got 10mm difference. 785. 785. 785 or 6. 787. Yeah, 787, 787, so there's hardly anything between them. So it's alright, isn't it? Well, I got as far as I can on that floor. I could put this top bit on, but that's at home. Couldn't get it in the van this morning because we took the exhaust pipe to a friend to get welded. So what I'm going to do is start preparing the bonnet and stuff for painting. And because it's got this awful black paint on, we've found the best way to get it off is to rub it with thinners first before we sand it down. So that's what I'll start doing now. So I took that top layer of that really black horrible paint, because when you sand that get clog up the sanding disc, so it's a lot easier now. We've done it with the wings as well, so the thinners seem to get that top layer of dirty black paint off, which is probably an aerosol. I've done it to the bonnet as well, so that'll just sand a little bit easier when we get it at the spray shop. Well, now we've got this rear tub out of the way, I can complete the brakes. I can get the last caliper on this disc, and that's all the brakes done then. So we fitted that last brake caliper and the dust cover, stainless bolts. Tightened that shock absorber up. I left that loose at the bottom. I just painted the backs of them brackets just so they don't stick out so much. That's about all we can do at the moment until we get some more bits and pieces. I might put these brackets on for the rear tub. Can actually probably bolt them on, grease them up and bolt them on. I'll put plenty of grease on the back, apart from a couple of leaves are stuck there. So we could get them on ready for the back to go on. Probably do that. And then we might I need to fill it up with antifreeze, and then we could actually go for a start. One thing I've got to think about is I'll change the barrel lock, so there could be an immobiliser in here, which there likely is, so we'll have to just see what happens. So we've got everything running. We're just doing a purge sequence because we fitted a new fuel line, so we hit the accelerator pedal 5 times. I did have one problem because I didn't fit the earth for the ECU. You can hear the pump priming. So hopefully once that's gone through a priming system or process, that will start. And it's still doing it. That light, the engine management light, will continue to flash while that does the priming sequence, and hopefully we'll get 4 bar pressure, and we'll be able to start the engine. So we're just going to let that circulate for a little while to make sure there's no air in it or anything, and then we'll be able to have a start, and you'll hear it clicking on and off. You can hear that pump pumping away. So with a bit of luck now, that's purged all the air out of it. Obviously we've got to fill this fuel filter up. I mean, I could have filled that up myself really, to, you know, not so the pump didn't have to work so hard, but we haven't done that, so. Let's give it a go. And hear the pump priming. Trying to bleed it off with a bleed pin, took the bleed pin out, and there's nothing coming out. Oh, there we are, coming out. We'll put that back in. So don't leave it running too long before you bleed it. I'll bleed it when it's stopped, and then I'll bleed it when it's running. And I just want it to stop because I don't want, you know, you don't want there to be an airlock in the engine. So initially trying to start it was hard work, hasn't been run for a little while, but now it starts straight up, and that purge sequence was quite hard. We missed the earth off of the ECU, so the ECU wasn't working to start with, but I also found the relay for the pump and linked that out, so I knew the pump was okay, and then we limited it down. That was the earth on the ECU what was causing me all the problems. Thanks for watching guys, like and subscribe. We'll do a little bit more when we get some other bits and pieces. Well, that was all we've got time for. Got the power steering working. Got to bleed the brakes, get some brake fluid. Everything else is working really. Obviously finish it off. Sound.